Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Empower Your Mind for Success podcast, a podcast for anyone who wants to build an entrepreneurial mindset. The definition of happiness I recently read in a book was very well stated. It was pretty simple and once again reflected on the importance of your thoughts. A definition of happiness that I recently read in a book was something like this, defined by John A. Schindler, Dr. John A. Schindler. And he said, happiness is a state of mind in which our thinking is pleasant a good share of the time. Let me repeat. Happiness is a state of mind in which our thinking is pleasant a good share of the time. When I read this today in the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz, written in 1960, this book was recently updated by Dan S. Kennedy, who was a very big student follower of Dr. Maxwell Maltz. And if you think about the definition, it's a state of mind. State of mind as in state as in condition, right? Condition of mind, which means you can condition your mind to be in that state, right? That's what it means. And it's a state of mind in which our thinking, which means our thoughts, once again, this happiness is defined where it comes from our thoughts. And, you know, if you have been listening to my podcasts, I have been talking about how important thoughts are because they're the starting point. Now, the good thing about this is this means that this is in our control. Thoughts reside in the conscious mind, which is the neocortex brain. Anything logical, analytical is in the conscious mind, right? Thoughts originate in the conscious mind, which we control, right? We can be intentional about our thoughts. We can put habits in place to think the right thoughts. We can visualize and imagine the right things to be in the right frame of mind, to be in the right condition or state of mind, right? Now, how you feel about it resides in the subconscious mind. That's why you cannot always explain emotions and how you feel about someone or something, but emotions, feelings, belief systems, perceptions all reside in the subconscious mind, which is your limbic brain. Okay. But the point is, if you can control your thoughts can control your state of mind. Okay. This also reminds me of another thing that I read in another book called as The Magic of Thinking Big. Now, Dr. David Schwartz in The Magic of Thinking Big, the book written in 1987, spoke about something very, very revealing to me. I mean, it really, it was a pivotal moment in my life when I read this book, I believe about 5 years ago, in 2015. And the biggest revelation for me from this book is Dr. Schwartz says that motion precedes emotion. Okay. Emotion is your feeling of how you feel, and motion is an action you take, maybe in your mind or physical action, right? So motion precedes emotion. In other words, you can say emotion follows motion. And I always thought it was the other way around. I always thought that if I'm feeling lazy, I will not take action. If I'm unhappy, I might listen to sad songs. If I'm happy, I will be more cheerful and talk to my friends or play with my kids, whatever the case is, right? But it is not that way. If you're lazy, you need to get up and walk around to get into the mindset of not feeling lazy. If you want to, if you're sad and if you want to feel happy, you need to put a smile on your face. You need to think of a thought or a place or a vacation or something, a joke, something that'll make you feel happy, that'll make you smile. So there is always motion that leads to emotion. Now, if you connect motion leads to emotion and this definition of happiness, which is the state of mind that comes from our thought process, then the two definitions or these two different things are talking about the same thing, right? Which means we are more in control of our happiness. Happiness is not what we have always been thinking of, right? We have always thought, maybe at least I have, that happiness comes from achievement of an object or a materialistic thing, but that's not the case. And even if it is the case, it is short-lived, right? That is why when we achieve something, we get promoted or we get a big bonus, or our kids do very well in school, get good grades. All those emotions or those moments of happiness are short-lived because our mind is always thinking what next, right? That is why they call it 15 seconds of fame. Your fame doesn't last long, right? That is why happiness, if you are seeking happiness, if we are seeking happiness in the materialistic world, it is short-lived. But if happiness is a state of mind that comes from a thought process, that is more in your control, and that can be elongated to as much as you want, as long as you can keep your thoughts positive. That helps you be in a pleasant mood most of the time. Then you can be happy most of the time. That is liberating, isn't it? You are more in control of it, right? So if you think about it, there's another, I think, Greek philosopher whose name was Epictetus. He said, men are disturbed not by things that happen, but by the opinion of the things that have happened. Now, this is also very profound, right? Opinion is another thought. So something may have happened to you, right? You did not get promoted, or you fell and injured yourself, or you had a breakup in a relationship. Now, it's not the event itself, but it's our opinion of that event, of what had happened to us, makes us unhappy. Now, opinion is another thought, like I said. Now, I had done a podcast a few weeks ago where I was talking about, opinions are like armpits, right? They always stink. So you should never let someone's opinion control the way you feel. You can always control the way you feel, because the opinion of someone else's words coming into your mind have to go through your conscious mind. And when you receive that opinion as a thought in your mind, you have to analyze it and be logical about it. And if it's negative, you got to discard it. You got to cancel and do a pattern interrupt and cancel it. There are several ways of doing this, right? But you can build habits that will lead to good attitudes, because at the end of the day, your attitude towards life will lead to happiness as well. And attitude will come from habits of thinking good thoughts, visualizing and imagining all the right things will lead to good thoughts, right? Now, the other thing that we need to keep in mind, right? I was talking about, happiness is short-lived if it is coming from a materialistic world, because genetically, humans are wired to be goal-striving people. If we don't have a goal, we don't work well. If you don't have a deadline, a goal, as all of you know, goal is achievement of an objective within a certain timeline. So if we don't have a timeline, if we don't have a goal to achieve something, we are not going to be able to take a lot of actions. And remember, action leads to emotion, right? So the more actions we can take, the more better goals we have, the better oriented we will be towards positive thoughts, positive actions, right? And that is why you have to keep this in mind, that happiness is a state of mind. It was very interesting to me. It was kind of revealing to me, because I could connect a few dots and add more clarity in my mind about this topic. And I wanted to share with my listeners about this right away. I read about this today in the Psycho-Cybernetics book, and I wanted to share it with you guys so that I can provide value to you guys and maybe help you connect the dots in your mind. Maybe tomorrow I can talk a little bit about how to build these habits, how to be aware enough to catch yourself thinking something negative, so that you could cancel it and replace it with a happy thought, or a happy or a habit, I would say, with a habit that would help you think happy thoughts. I hope this helps. I hope this provides value to you. And if it does, please pay it forward. Please share it with someone you believe will benefit from listening to this podcast. Subscribe to this podcast. Remember, you have unlimited potential. Own it. Until next time, take care.